So what we'll do is like, I'm just gonna let you tell your story. What happened? I mean, it was like.
It was great. Yes, I hadn't
You know?
been in the business. I hadn't had your program a week, and I had put together the postcards. I did them myself.
At home.
At home.
Okay.
And was sending them out to my the tract that I had been farming previously, and I was at the post office. Just finished mailing 150 of them. Walking back to my car, and I saw a woman that I had worked with in the library, and she stopped and she asked how my real estate business was going, and I said, well, it's going just fine. I'm really just getting started with it, and I'm working mostly with distressed properties, short sale and foreclosures. And she said, oh, my son is in the process of a foreclosure. And I said, really? And she said, yeah. She said, is there anything you can do for him? And I said, well, absolutely. That's just exactly what I do. And she says, well, do you have any information? And I said, I do. In my car, I just happen to have a flyer that I can give you. And also, I had a take one. And so I was able to give those to her, and she said, well, gee, I'll give these to my husband, and we'll see what happens. And so her husband called me that evening, and he said he was very impressed with my material, and
Really?
that we'd like to get together. He'd like to get together with me. And so we talked probably for a couple of more days before I called his son and set an appointment, and we listed his home, and were able to stop the foreclosure.
Sure, the banks are happy to do that,
They were
right?
happy to do that.
Yep.
Well, not happy.
Well,
Actually,
okay.
it was only 2 weeks until the foreclosure sale.
The sale date, 2 weeks from the sale date.
2
Wow.
weeks from the sale date. So I immediately listed it. And when we got all of his short paperwork together, all of his short sale work together, took it to the people. And while I was giving them the information, the call came in that we had an offer. So we were able to put an offer with the package and send it right in.
Fantastic.
Meanwhile, the father called and said, I'd like to buy my son a home, the one that was losing his home. So I've been out and now
I didn't know about this part.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Yes. Yes, so now I have another sale in escrow. It's also a short sale, and
Really?
that's the one that I just opened escrow this morning on. So I actually got 2 sales out of that one trip to the post office. Yeah.
It's such a great story. Now, for some reason, I think that you were actually out of real estate for a while and are just sort of getting back into it.
For the last 3 years, I really haven't been doing too much. So.
And then when we came up here in the office, I remember, I think that was your first week at Avalar or something, right? We had a chance to talk a little bit.
Right.
And you were sort of, thinking about what you ought to be doing and this and that, right?
Whether I should be in commercial.
Right. So are you convinced that this is an opportunity? This is the space to be in right now?
Right now, short sales of homes is the way to go. To help people get out of this foreclosure loop that they're in, to sell their homes, maintain their credit. Yeah, absolutely.
And would you be excited to know that I was at the NAR convention all this past weekend, right? And so I networked and met with a lot of people in the industry, right? And basically, everybody's in agreement. Everybody's saying that next year there's going to be twice the number of short sales, twice the number of foreclosures on the market to work with. And it's sort of a double-edged thing, right? I mean, it's terrible that people are going through this, but it's such a tremendous opportunity for a real estate pro like yourself, right?
Right.
Especially when you're you're just sort of getting back into business, because it's sort of low-hanging fruit,
Yes, absolutely,
right?
absolutely. And I'm looking forward to when I get back, getting out my bandit signs. Because I think there's a lot of people that, like, there was a program on television last night. I don't know if you saw it. It was a couple in Ohio that were being forced out of their homes, and they were in foreclosure because of medical expenses. They'd stopped paying their bills. It was really very touching.
Yeah. So now, okay, so your client, the
My
son,
two clients,
right?
yes,
The son. Okay. So he was 2 weeks away from the sale date, not from the filing of the notice default, but the sale date, right? Which ordinarily would have meant the sale would happen, then he's supposed to be out, and sort of best case, maybe another 30 days after that, the sheriff would come knocking at the door.
Exactly.
So now, because he hired you, right, and you're able to work on this transaction, it makes the bank happy, it makes him happy. He's got a place to live through the holidays now,
He
right?
does,
You
yes.
know? I mean, you've taken a lot of the pressure off of him, right?
Absolutely. I've never seen a man happier. And actually, the sale wasn't stopped until the Tuesday before the Thursday of the sale.
Yeah, I've heard
The
that story a lot.
negotiation. yes.
Yeah.
So he was on pins and needles,
Yeah.
not knowing whether he would actually get the notice on the door and have to start packing. So I didn't, and I really didn't know either whether we were going to be able to stop it.
Sure.
But the team I'm working with were able to pull it off, and I'm really pleased with it.
That's just a wonderful story. Now, real estate agents, of course, they always want to know about money, right? You know?
Exactly.
How much money is this going to put in your pocket, just roughly with the 2 transactions?
Well, with the 2 transactions, probably close to $20,000.
Yeah.
After negotiation fees and broker's fees, etc. So yeah.
And all from
all
what?
from mailing my postcards. At the post office.
Right.
I mean, and I didn't really get a response from that mailing either.
Right.
Not that that's a big deal, because I picked it up at the post office.
Yeah, it happens. These take ones, right, that you've got in your hands here, these little handouts, right?
Yes.
Those are so powerful, especially the ebook ones too.
Yes. Now that was why I had these, and that's the reason why I chose to give her something just slightly different as I take that as a handout.
Yeah, and it's important you do that because everybody's got their own priorities, right? And different things are important to different people, right? And depending on their values and what's going on in their life, maybe how long it's going to take is more important than what the hassles are going to be and things like this. So it's important with these toolkit, there's like several different offers in there, as you know, right? There's the quick qualifier, the ebook, and the buy your home for half price, I think is the other one. But it's important that you use all of these tools sort of over and over again sequentially.
Right.
And they work.
Yes.
Right.
And I'll do more of the postcards, obviously, next time I'm going to hang out at the post office.
Yeah. Well, tonight what we're going to do is I'm going to give a little bit of training to the short sale people in your office.
Yeah.
And just sort of do some live sort of training on sort of how to hand these things to people. I mean, obviously you got it down and it worked fine for you, right?
Right.
But
I
like
the reverence idea.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right.
Thank you. All right, so you're a believer, right?
I'm a believer.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Good.
That's
All
the way
right.
to go.
Thank you, Barbara.
You're quite welcome.